Right, we're back for game week 31 of our Premier League predictions, but Dad, why are you upset?
Because I'm annoyed with you, Theo.
Why would you be annoyed with me?
I mean, why did you have to get Ollie Ball as a guest?
He's one of the most trending guys on YouTube at the moment.
Okay, last week, 5 points for you,
Yeah.
5 points for me, 7 points for Ollie Ball. Hello, Ollie Ball here. This week I'm going to beat you at your own game. I mean, that lad, Theo, wakes up in the morning, reviews a chicken wrap, 30 million views, and then he's like, I'm going to beat Thogden and Thogden at their own game. I mean, Theo, just promise me one thing. Promise me one thing, Theo. This week, no more guests from Bolton. They're too good at this.
Welcome, his mate, Jacob.
No.
Who's from Bolton, does the videos with him. Oh, mate, what a duo they are, Dad. We can't get beaten again.
Oh,
we can't get beaten again.
Well, I'll tell you, if Jacob's on, I want 20,000 likes. 20,000, Theo.
We're not getting that.
22,000 likes.
Oh, there's no way. That's not physically possible.
It's Jacob. Chuck it or scran it.
It's not possible. It's not going to happen.
Theo, the score's on the doors. 180 to the guess. 189, 219. You're not escaping that one, Theo.
Oh, God. Let's get on with Fulham Wolves, shall we?
Yeah, and the first game is Fulham against Wolverhampton Wanderers, 18th against 14th. Two teams who lost last week. I mean, Fulham lost 4 of the last 5, haven't they, Theo? But Mitrovic is back scoring.
Yeah, Mitrovic is scoring goals for fun. I think it's now 6 goals in the last 4 games for club and country. And they'll need him because Fulham at home have been really lacking goals. In the last 6 home fixtures, they've only scored in 2 of those games.
Absolutely, and they threw it away late, didn't they, against Villa? But Wolves, terrible form. 2 points in 5 games. What's gone wrong there?
Dad, they couldn't even get a point against a West Ham team that didn't have Declan Rice and played Masuaku at left wing. He's a left back. Guys, that's not good enough. Wolves have fallen apart and only Pedro Neto is really impressing.
Absolutely, a lot of people are buying him for FPL, but I'm going to get straight to the point. 1-1 in this game.
I've got the faith in Wolves. I'm keeping faith in them. Scott Parker, I've always backed him as a manager. I think I see a sneaky winner in the second half by Mitrovic.
Wow.
And a big 1-0 Fulham win. Remember I said this. It's going to happen.
Wow, that is a very big statement.
Let's go over to Jacob, shall we?
Fulham versus Wolves. I can't see it being a Bobby Dazzler of a game. Just one winner in this game. Wolves, 1-0. I don't know who's going to score, couldn't tell you, but...
Leicester City against Leeds United. It's Lancashire against Yorkshire, and two teams who won last week. But Man City only just sneaked a win midweek, didn't they, against Borussia Dortmund. And I tell you what, Theo, they're going to rotate like hell this week, aren't they?
But they have the squad to rotate.
Yes.
More than any other team in the world. They've got one of the best squad depths going. And they're going to be going at home to Leeds. Probably a high-scoring encounter because both games were last week. I mean, Leeds, they won their Yorkshire derby, they won 2-1. But Manchester City's win over Dortmund has made it 6 in a row for them now. And they've only lost 1 game in the last 35 competitive matches. They only need 4 more wins to basically verify the title. Nothing can stop City, really.
Absolutely, 14 points ahead. And like I said, they will rotate like hell.
Yeah.
And Kevin De Bruyne, I think, might just miss out for all you FPL managers.
Who knows? Who knows?
But Leeds United, a good win against Sheffield United. And Jack Harrison, 1 goal, 1 assist. So depending upon the team City play, could be a good game there.
Yeah, that Yorkshire derby, well, basically saw Leeds take over 20 shots. That's the 5th time this season they've done that. The only team to record more is Man City with 6 times. They love shots, and it makes me think this could be a real high-scoring encounter. And I'm going to back that. Manchester City 3, Leeds 1 is my prediction. What about you?
Right, well, first of all, I'm going to say 3-0 to Man City, but I'm hearing a whisper from over here because this lad last week said that Jota would score and Greenwood would score. He was right.
Ooh.
Thogbear says that Aguero will score in this game.
Okay.
That is a big shout from Thogbear.
We'll see if that happens. Let's go over to Jacob over in Bolton.
Man City versus Leeds United. I think it's going to be a really attacking game. Defo ding dang do, proper ding dang do, defo scran it. I can only see one winner again. We beat Man City because no one. It seems like no one can beat them. I can't get the words out, and you know that's how I feel about it. I just think it's going to be 2-0 City.
Thogbear, you can go back, mate. Oh.
Whoa! Don't edit that out. That was
That's quite
abuse.
Good. And now for Liverpool against Aston Villa, 7th against 9th. And last week, both teams scored 3 and 1. And it was all about Diogo Jota, wasn't it, Theo?
Yeah, but this game week is all about the flashback to Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Oh my goodness.
This is the reverse fixture of the big result. What's going to happen?
Well, I'll tell you what, Liverpool almost certainly out of the Champions League, and they can really focus on the Premier League. Yeah,
I would never say Liverpool are almost certainly out of the Champions League. They always find a way of bringing it back. Barcelona, I think they were like 3-0 down in the first leg. Not 3-1, 3-0. And they brought it back at home, winning 4-0, and they went through to the next round. Who says Liverpool can't do it again? In the Premier League last time out, they beat Arsenal 3-0. What do you reckon? Is it a little bit up and down form recently?
It is, Theo. Now, Villa looked like they were losing to Fulham, and I went out for a brew, and I came back, and I'd missed 2 goals.
Oh my God.
But I tell you what, I think this could be a good game, but Liverpool, like I said, will really be focusing on the league. 3 points behind West Ham. I mean, surely they can't miss out on Champions League football.
Well, I would say watch out for Watkins, because he bagged in a hat-trick in the 7-2 in the reverse fixture. He'll be looking to score against another big game. He loves to do that. Will Jack Grealish return for Villa?
Well, I hope so, because they really miss him. But you know what? I'm assuming he might be a sub. I'm going for Liverpool 2, Villa 1.
Okay, well, it's Egyptian versus Egyptian. Mo Salah versus Trezeguet. He scored a brace last game versus Fulham. His only games he's scored in the Premier League so far.
Wow.
So not bad. In this game, I'm going for a very simple Liverpool 1, Villa 3.
No, you're not.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Is Jeremy Beadle about?
That is Villa. They love a big game. Watch it happen.
Amazing. Now, Jacob, I've got a question for you. Chuck it or scran it?
Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Now, I think it'll be a good game, but, you know, what was it, earlier on in the season, Aston Villa absolutely smashed Liverpool, but I do think Liverpool will win this game quite comfortably. I know they've been quite poor this season, Liverpool, but, you know, it's going to be 3-0 Liverpool.
Crystal Palace in 12th against Chelsea in 5th. It's a London derby. And Crystal Palace drew with Everton last week. And I thought they were all right. I thought Eze and Zaha worked well together, Theo.
Yeah, Palace have made themselves hard to beat recently, but you can't ignore the form versus Chelsea. In the reverse fixture, Palace got beaten by the Blues 4-0, and it's now one of the longest head-to-head runs. Chelsea have won this fixture 6 times in a row. No draws, no wins for Palace. It's been demolition. Do you reckon it'll happen again?
Well, it's a tough one to call. Crystal Palace have only lost 1 of the last 5. Now, Chelsea, very hard to call also.
Yeah.
They lose 5-2 to West Brom, which was unbelievable. Then they go away to Spain, and they beat Porto 2-0. So it looks like they'll be in the next round of the Champions League.
But they also got dominated. Chelsea fans will be looking for a better, you know, a second leg performance than what they performed against Porto. The Porto result, as much as Mason Mount and Chilwell took their goals well, and Edouard Mendy had a great game, it was a little bit of an anomaly when you look at the stats. Porto weren't clinical enough, and you've got to look at that and think maybe Palace will go out there with confidence after the last Prem game ended 5-2.
Wow, you're a very harsh man, but you know what? Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2.
You think Palace will score?
Yes.
Well, Zaha scored the opening at Selhurst Park last year in this game. He might do it again. I'm going for Palace 0, Chelsea 2. I'm not going for any crazy predictions on this one. I think the Blues have enough to win. Mason Mount to score again. He's been incredible.
Right, and over to Jacob in Bolton.
Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Now, I can't see Chelsea losing 2 games in a row, but I can see Crystal Palace, you know, putting a bit of a fight on. Now, I think Chelsea will win, but I want to go with a draw, and I think it'll be a 2-2 draw.
And now for a relegation scrap, it's Burnley in 15th against Newcastle in 17th. And Burnley threw away a 2-0 lead, didn't they, in that last game? That's not like them, is it?
No, the last time they did that was January 2015, bottling a 2-0. That's not like Sean Dyche. In fact, that should be, you know, ringing alarm bells, making us think, is Burnley, are they starting to bottle?
Well, they might be, but I think they're going to be all right. And Newcastle, by the way, Theo, they've drawn 4 of the last 5, which is not spectacular. A lot of Newcastle fans want the gaffer out, but they're just sneaking away from Fulham, aren't they?
Yeah, and they might also have Callum Wilson back.
Yes,
that would
is
be
enormous.
huge for them. But they're keeping quiet about it. Bruce doesn't want to say much, just so the gaffer of the opposite team doesn't know how to set up their tactics. One thing's for sure, though, St. Maximan, Joe Willock, Almiron, they're all ready to go. I mean, Newcastle are starting to look a little bit more positive in terms of the options that they have.
Absolutely. Even Joe Linton is scoring. Yeah. But you know what? Overall, I'm going Burnley 1, Newcastle 1.
I'm going to go for the same thing. But honestly, Dad, it wouldn't surprise me if Newcastle sneak this one. It was weird seeing Burnley bottle a 2-0 to Southampton last week. And it makes me think, I do believe in Sean, never bet against Sean Dyche. I'm sure he'll turn it around. But if Newcastle surprise all the odds and win this game, it's because of that.
Absolutely.
Now, most of it. Wilson to score if he plays.
Now, Jacob, bring the chicken to the booner.
Burnley versus Newcastle. I think it's going to be a chuck it of a game. Boring. It's going to be a boring game. They don't seem to play the best football either side. But I can see Burnley winning 1-0. I don't know how. I reckon... I don't know what with this game, but 1-0 Burnley.
West Ham United against Leicester City, 4th against 3rd, and it's brilliant that these two teams are in Champions League places. And what about Jesse Lingard getting me the fantasy points, Theo?
He's not getting me them, I can guarantee you that, and it's a big blow. But hey, what it is what it is. This is the game of the week, isn't it?
It is a brilliant game, and Leicester were outclassed by Man City, but you know, we can say that about most teams in the division, can't you, Theo?
With this being at the Olympic Stadium, West Ham come into this being second on home form, but Leicester also come in second on away form. It could really go either way, couldn't it, Dad?
It could, Theo. Now, Leicester, of course, still missing Maddison and Barnes, I believe, but Iheanacho's on good form.
Maddison's back.
Well, we'll see whether he starts there. But West Ham, I've got a feeling they're going to sneak this one. I'm going to go 2-1 to West Ham.
That is interesting. I mean, West Ham still beat the Wolves side without Declan Rice, with Mark Noble in the midfield, Masuak on the wing. Just shows, I mean, they're all playing for David Moyes right now. West Ham have one of the best home forms in the league. And, you know, the odds are in their favour. But I just get the feeling Leicester will find enough from it. It wouldn't surprise me if the Foxes get even a win. But without Harvey Barnes, I'm just going to sit on the fence and go for a 1-1 draw. But let's go over to the Bolton fan and legend, Jacob. What are you going for, mate?
West Ham and Leicester. Now, I think this is going to be the game of the weekend. They both play good football. They both played well this season. And, you know, it's an hard one to predict this. I want to see West Ham win because obviously they're doing well. I want to go with 2-1 win. West Ham.
Tottenham Hotspur in 6th against Manchester United in 2nd, and Harry Kane keeps scoring for me, but the rest of the team let him down. Do you blame the players or do you blame Jose there?
Well, it's a difficult one with Spurs. It really is. Manchester United have had a better season overall. They play tonight against Granada. We don't know the result. Spurs have a break because they got knocked out of the Europa League. They have a midweek of no games where Jose can get the players together and work on tactics. We've got to remember, in the reverse fixture, this game ended 6-1 to Spurs at Old Trafford. Is there any chance in the world something like that could happen again?
No chance in the world. I would like to see Jose play Bale and Son and Kane at the same time.
They're all fit.
They're all fit, but I think he will be cautious. Whereas Man United, the second best form in the league, it's hard to call this, isn't it?
It is a hard one to call. I get the feeling Manchester United will have to rotate. If Bruno is, you know, if they need him to play against Granada and really focus on Europa League, will he be fit to play on the weekend against a tough Spurs away fixture? Spurs at home, the last 3 games, they've won them all. 5 in all competitions. You know, Jose needs to turn up to keep his job. I think he will. I'm going to go Spurs 2-0.
Wow, that is a major statement.
But watch it happen. Watch it happen. I promise. Spurs are going to win this game. They're going to stop Manchester United's away unbeaten run. It's ending here.
Incredible. I'm going for Spurs 1, Man United 1. But I want to know...
Dog Dad, Mr. Boring.
Jacob, what do you reckon, pal?
Tottenham versus Manchester United. People think this will be game of the weekend. I don't think it will be, but it'll be a tight affair. Mourinho doesn't like to lose against his former teams. I can see Tottenham pulling it out the bag. 2-1 Tottenham.
Sheffield United against Arsenal, 20th against 10th. You've got one team who are going to the Championship. You've got another team who aren't going to Europe. Really disappointing out there.
Yeah, it is. I get the feeling in this game, the Blades are already relegated. They've not got much to play for, but Arsenal, away from home, always concede. They'll probably rotate players because their main focus is on Slavia Prague tonight in the Europa League. So I get the feeling Sheffield United, being at home, they will sneak a goal from somewhere. I don't know, let's go for McGoldrick, shall we? Or McBurney, one of the two, I get a feeling. But I still think Arsenal will come away with a 2-1 win. Even though it's a rotated squad, I still think they'll have enough. Emil Smith Rowe to score. What do you reckon?
Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1. And let's move on to the next game, please.
Fair play.
After Jacob's given us his view.
Sheffield United versus Arsenal. Like Sheffield United, they've been poor this season. Arsenal, some would say they've been poor, but I can only see one winner in this, and it's got to be Arsenal. It's got to be Arsenal, I think. I can't see them smashing Sheffield United, but I can't see Sheffield winning themselves, but 1-0 Arsenal, 1-0.
West Bromwich Albion in 19th against Southampton in 13th. All I can say is 8 goals, 6 points between them last week. Boing, boing, boing. Will the Baggies stay up there?
Probably not.
Oh, come on. Callum Robinson, Pereira, absolutely beasts at the moment.
I know, but you're playing against Fulham and Newcastle on more points.
Yeah.
You know, they've got their own battle to deal with. I don't think West Brom will come back into it. Listen, Big Sam always finds a way, but this is the first season I don't think he will.
Ooh.
Southampton also had an incredible comeback to go from 2-0 against Burnley to winning it 3-2 after their recent Prem form, which has been rubbish. It just shows maybe the beginning of a positive momentum run for the Saints. Danny Ings, I'm sure, will be signed by a lot of players on FPL because he's probably going to back in this game. I'm going West Brom 0, Southampton 2. What about you?
Wow, yeah, Danny Ings and Nathan Redmond were really impressive last week. There could be goals here, but West Brom simply have to win. It's that simple. Yeah. And sometimes when the pressure's on, things mess up. I'm going for 1-1 there.
Okay, that's interesting. Wouldn't surprise me if Big Sam sneaks it. If he gets another 1-0 win, then maybe survival talks are on. But let's go over to Jacob and see what he goes for.
West Brom versus Southampton. Now, will it be another Sam Allardyce masterclass? I think it will do. I reckon 2-1 West Brom against Southampton. Is a comeback on for West Brom? Are they staying up? Are they staying up? Who knows? Devil's granite. And Corrie's on tonight.
And finally, Brighton and Hove Albion in 16th against Everton in 8th. And Brighton played well last week against Man United, but lost out to Mason Greenwood, didn't they, Theo?
Yeah, they did. Greenwood has finally had a game where he can look back on and say, yeah, that win, I was a part of that.
Absolutely.
It's been a while.
Yeah, James Rodriguez came back, got the goal, but a draw against Crystal Palace, not quite good enough, was it, Theo?
No, if Calvert-Lewin could score, then there wouldn't be a problem.
Oh my goodness, the number of chances that DCL misses, for me, because he's in my team,
that's why
is ridiculous.
This geezer has him in his FPL team. We're watching the game together, and he just won't score. It's just like he doesn't want to give Thogden FPL points. I'm pleased I sold him. But Richarlison's, he's been mostly tweeting recently about Neymar and just Brazil banter, really. I sort of get it, sort of don't, but we try and pull along with it. But no, I reckon Brighton, they're finally starting to get big wins and, making up for their XG.
Yeah.
Predicted goals. I reckon they'll win this. I know James is back and Everton haven't been on the greatest of form, so I'm going to go Brighton 1-0. I think they'll score maybe a Malpai penalty and, they'll get the win for the Seagulls. What do you reckon?
Well, I'm going to be different. Everton need to pick up some wins if they want to play Champions League football next season.
I think it's off.
So you know what? Brighton 1, Everton 2.
I don't think they'll be getting Champions League.
That one is for Ollie Ball.
Okay. Well, let's go over to his mate, Jacob, for the last game.
Brighton versus Everton. Now, we know Ollie Ball supports Everton, so I'm going to go with a 2-0 Brighton win. He's going to rate me for this, but hopefully I'm not jinxed his team, but it's going to be a boring game, but Brighton 2-0.
Thank you very much, Jacob, for coming on Prem Predictions. Really appreciate it. We've now had both of them two. Now we need some fresh guests, so comment down below who you want on next week and we will chase them. Okay, simple as that. How many more game weeks we've got now, Dad?
7 more game weeks. Who do you want as the guest?
So let's try and get 7 huge guests. I mean, that would be an incredible way of ending it. And then all the focus goes onto the Euros this summer, which is just going to be amazing. So much content to cover around that. But subscribe and notifications on so you can see all that future content. I think we're all excited for that. What about you, Dad?
Absolutely. I'm going to give Mia Khalifa a call, see if she'll come on.
Oh, God, not these jokes again. I'm literally going to pack in this video before you make any more crap jokes.
Okay.
Okay, bye guys, see you in a bit.